So, you've seen the Queen's Gambit. If you have, or even if you haven't, today I want to talk about how that relates to your healthy diet. Hi, everybody. I'm Ricki Heller from rickiheller.com, and I help people on restricted diets learn to love their food so that they can stick with it for the long term, lose their symptoms, and get their lives back. So I was having a conversation with my sister the other day, and I was asking her if she saw the Queen's Gambit. And she said no, but she was interested, but she said, I just think that I'm going to have to wait till my husband wants to watch it. Hey there, till my husband wants to watch it because I don't know how to use the remote and get onto Netflix. And I was like I knew she wasn't techie, but this was really quite a lot. And I said, "You really think you couldn't figure out how to use the remote?" I mean, she was an operating room nurse. She figured that out, right? She was like one of the best. And she said, "Well, I guess if I really took the time and I really, really learned about it." So I thought that was really fascinating that her first impulse was, I wouldn't know how to do this because she hadn't done it before. And what I find so interesting about that is that that is so common for women today. I don't know if you've heard about this study. It's been all over the business pages, but they did a study where, and I think it was Hewlett Packard that did it, and they examined how women respond to job applications and how men do. And they gave them like a specific application that had, very specific qualifications for the job. And what they discovered was that women do not apply for a job unless they have 100% of the qualifications that are asked for, whereas men will apply for a job if they only have 60% of the qualifications. So, what does that mean? Is it that women aren't as confident in their abilities? I mean, that when they interviewed some of these guys, they said, yeah, I knew that technically I didn't have what they were asking for, but I figured I could just learn it on the job, right? And when they interviewed the women, they said, well, I didn't have what they were asking for, so I didn't think I could do the job. So there's a very different dynamic. And because I work with women, of course, mostly, that is what concerns me because I think it's so important. I heard this on a podcast this morning, and I just love this expression that you should overestimate your abilities, right? Most of us underestimate what we're capable of. I want you to overestimate what you're capable of because even when we think we're overestimating, usually that just means what we are capable of. So, how does this relate to your healthy eating plan? Well, for so many of the women I work with, one of the things that holds them back from jumping into the really deep work that will create the permanent change, which is what they really want, but what holds them back is this feeling that I don't have it in me to do this, right? It's too hard. I don't have the willpower. I don't have the motivation. And what's really interesting, and what you should know, of course, is that willpower and motivation actually are not the things that allow you to have success because we can control how much willpower we have, and motivation is so changeable. We don't even want to rely on motivation when we're looking at how do we change the way we eat for life. So, with the right strategies, you don't need either of those. But that's one of the things that a lot of women think is going to hold them back, and that they just aren't strong enough to resist all of these normal foods that are in front of their faces all the time. Because let's face it, in our society, that is what we encounter a lot. But I'm here to tell you that that is simply that same principle of us underestimating what we're capable of all the time. It's just ingrained. We've learned this, we've believed this for so long that we think it's true. But the reality is, if you think back to this year, for instance, you are capable of way more than maybe you ever thought possible. And you are capable of doing the hard things. So that's something that's so important to remember, that when you embark on this journey of changing the way you eat permanently, besides the fact that you can have support along the way, but even with the support, a lot of people are uncertain, you are able to do things you maybe never thought you could do. And you need to remember that because that is going to carry you through and give you success. And I just thought it was so interesting. Like I said, when I was talking to her, and my sister, and when I challenged her, she had to admit that, yeah, like, I'm not stupid. If my husband could figure it out, how come I can't figure it out? Of course she could figure it out. But it was just the sort of default position was, I can't do that. It's too techie. I'm not techie. Can't do it. Right. That's just a belief that has been held for so long that now she just takes it as reality when it isn't reality. And the same is true for you. It isn't reality that you have to keep slipping up because you can't resist these foods. You can. You just need the tools to help you to do that. So I hope that's helpful as we go into the weekend. And I'm sure for many of us around this time of year, we're seeing lots of foods that can be tempting. Remember that you can do those hard things. If you'd like more support around this right now, the doors to my signature program, Hungry for Health, are open. I'm accepting applications through Tuesday. I've opened up some new spots because I've been getting so many calls. So for those of you who tried to book a call with me, if the scheduler was full, I've opened up a couple new days now. And I would love to speak to you. This is a 4-month intensive program where we're going to go deep and personal, and you're going to get all the tools you need so that you can be 100% certain that you can do it. And if you'd like to talk to me, it's by interview only because I want to speak to everybody first and make sure that each person in the group is a really good fit for you. I wouldn't want you to take it if it isn't a good fit for you, and also for the rest of the group. So you can just go to rickiheller.com/H4H, and that's where you can sign up. And as I said, I've opened up some spots for Monday and Tuesday as well. And I'll be able to chat with you and we can talk about whether or not this is something that would work for you. If you have any other questions, of course, please feel free to put them in the comments below or just send me a DM. Instagram is better than Facebook. For some reason, I've been having trouble reaching my DMs. Facebook isn't putting them all through or something. I don't know what's going on, but I'm not getting them. So if you go to my Instagram account, Ricki Heller, and send me a DM there, or just send me an email to Ricki@rickiheller.com. We got a dog coming in the room there. All right, everybody. Oh, and leaving now. I hope you guys have a great weekend, and I will talk to you again soon.